every narcissist leader would have a very trusted number two.
Yeah.
So
Who will not be a narcissist.
Who is not a narcissist,
That's
who
why I
actually balances out.
Yes.
So what you said was board actually in some cases, and there is a very specific research on it which also says that boards, what they do is they actually act as a cushion against the reckless
They have a
action
yin-yang personality.
yin-yang personality.
No, so then basically you are adjusting. Whether the leader is adjusting or he is creating a number two to adjust and kind of,
Buffer zone.
As a buffer zone to have, along as the BAU that he rightly pointed out. Typically the narcissist leader would move out and let the other, now it's BAU, you take it forward. Because that's not his cup of tea anymore.
So
that's not exciting.
Would maverick be another word for a narcissist leader? Or the
Maverick
is more risk taking?
No, it may be risk taking, but narcissist would be maverick plus
admire
me.
I me myself.
Right? My aura.
Yes.
Me.
Okay, one spin-off I can think, again, one good part of narcissism, again, I'm putting it in a very contextual perspective. If the brand of the leader is very high, and depending upon what you're representing, I'll go back to the Elon Musk story. Tesla spent zero in advertisement.
Absolutely.
Right. So again, there are pros and cons. Pros and cons. Because the personalities, it gets sold on that. Obviously, the innovation, the experience, and the personality. So again, I'm not saying I'm pro or against, but what I'm trying to say, there are pros and cons for each one of these.
No, it actually becomes very difficult to quantify it as, say, a good characteristic or a bad characteristic, right? But if you look at the way it is used, narcissist or narcissism, it is always used in a negative
terminology. Yeah, exactly.
So, that was the whole idea of it.
Have you started to see that change, Faisal? Have you seen research where companies are deliberately inculcating and bringing on narcissist leaders at different stages of the company?
What has been seen is in uncertain times, when there is chaos, when the company is loss making, when the company is directionless, in those cases, companies do look for such leaders who actually are disruptors, who actually have got that narcissist sort of bent. So that is there. So narcissists, they thrive in such situations. So if everything is smooth, you won't bring a narcissist to disrupt everything.
But it will also not lead to success all the time. Right? It will not lead to success all the time.
A little bit of a hit and miss.
Quite a bit of a hit and miss. If you do a statistical analysis, possibly.
Interesting.
So, another research again. So we spoke about performance, we spoke about innovation. Another research says that now if you look at narcissist leaders, they have very little regards to regulations. That is another
disruption.
Very little regards to regulation. You talk about a lot of startups. I'll not name a startup, but with startups, usually what happens, you come up with a concept and an idea. There may not be a lot of regulations around it to start with. Any startup you look at, which is an industry first. So narcissists are the ones who would be taking risk in taking those startups forward, even if it goes against, say, ethical considerations or not. So that is another trait of narcissists. Now, how do you define that?
Oh, that's clear research that indicates that.
There is research.
We know of one recent case in the internet doing the rounds without naming them. And that's why I use the word that, calculated risk. So it is important for a narcissist. Yes, you think your decision is final, but a trait of narcissism is also that you think your decision is always right, and therefore you will be less influenced by any external opinion or a person, or data, whatever. So I think that is where the adjustment that we were talking about, if the deputy can do the adjustment very well. Otherwise, narcissists are typically, will be focused on the business, whatever compliance, all that shit you take care of. That is the bent of mind they typically have. So if you put all that in the narcissist head, he will not be able to run at the HP or the horsepower that you're wanting him to. kind of.
He won't go into the details.
He won't go into.
Yeah, this is another personality trait, right? So I said obsessive leadership. Obsessive leader would be someone who goes into the details, very meticulous. Narcissist ka, it's like I am the one. In fact, one way of identifying a narcissist is you look at annual reports of the firms, and when there is a CEO message, see how many times me is used. That is another way of measuring narcissism.
So a narcissist CEO would have an idea, would have a vision, and it's disruptive or beyond that, and then they would be able to ensure people get excited and aligned to that.
Yes.
And therefore they would need, as an example, a COO who's least bothered about these things. Who's not bothered about, not least, but not bothered to that
extent. Could be a CEO,
and
could be the board.
At that level.
Well, I'm not sure how successful the COO would be in that situation.
If they're able to get along well with the trusted advisor.
At the end of the day, if the boss is got that personality trait, he won't care two hoots about what. So it really becomes either a coach who's assigned or the board or somebody who's able to influence. Because they will respect authority.
Exactly. Or I would tend to think that a narcissist leader, to ensure that he is successful, more often than not, should create a team where you have people, yes, who are going to take care of checks and balances while I run the horsepower I want.
If he recognizes he has a problem,
if he recognizes he has a problem,
right? Only then. Otherwise, it becomes the responsibility of somebody else to make sure that gets balanced by something else.
That's right.
Just a question. Is there any study between public listed companies versus privately owned companies?
I may not be aware of it because you don't find a lot of data on private.
Yeah, because
companies.
Okay. Let me rephrase the question. Is there a study on founder-led CEOs? Vis-a-vis executive leadership.
If you talk about founder-led would be more of, say, startups of first generation.
Not necessarily,
Yeah.
Even the companies,
IKEA still founder-led.
Yeah.
Founding family-led. Yeah. So there the studies. See, if say the founder is narcissist, or it is not necessarily the next generation leader would also be narcissist. And there is a very what you call a robust finding which says that the founder may be successful, but after 2 or 3 generations, not many businesses survive, or they don't have that sort of vision. So the father may be narcissist, but the next generation may of course not be. So.